Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to Straight to It. You know me, I'm your humble host, Clem Boogie. Yeah, I do some gambling. Yeah, I do some talking. And yes, I do know a lot of people. But tonight, in this interview, I sit down with a man that I've known dearly from yay high. We've been through a lot, good, the bad, the ugly. And I mean that literally. He is a man of many things, many trades. He lights up the room, respected amongst his community and the people who know him dearly. Ladies and gentlemen, I represent and announce and introduce to you Dennis Kumnipa.
What's the vibe? DK, Dennis Kumnipa, aka Denny Blanco. I thank you so much for having me on Straight to It. Getting it straight to it. I do a show called It's in the Game podcast with my man Randy J. Cruz. Mm-hmm. So from time to time we're doing a podcast and talking about basketball and other sports as well, and we're expanding on just the concept of the podcast. It's in the game. So the game is there's a game in everything, in life, in business, and so forth. So it's very the game in general it's a wide range. So other than that, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, I appreciate it. You know, me and you, we do what we can as far as being in contact. Obviously, as grown men and dealing with grown things in life, you know, things get in the way, but it's always like riding a bike whenever we do connect. And I always keep that dear and always appreciative. But enough about that. A lot of people, if they didn't know, me and this gentleman, we are actually cousins. We're cousins through our fathers. Our fathers are actually cousins. And we have a long lineage. If anybody knows anything about Ghanaian culture, we're all over the place. We're like roaches. We're all over the place. We're good people. We're loyal people. And, everybody, we know how to work the room. Let's just say that. But enough about that. We're going to start out with letting Dennis tell us, his humble beginnings, how it started, how it's working in between the process, and, what the greater pastures are. Obviously, I'll ask him questions, and with us, it's never off limits, and he can ask me any questions he would like in return. Dennis, it's on you.
Well, So, I'm born and raised born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx, New York. Grew up in a couple of places in the Bronx. I'm on Boston Road and First, I'm on Grand Concourse. I'm on Grand Concourse right off of Fordham Road. I'm first there early on, and then we moved to Herring Avenue, off of Allerton Avenue in the Bronx. So we were there majority of my teenage years, very, very calm and relaxing high school, college life. Nothing too crazy. Kept the head down and just, focused on, I was playing a lot of sports, playing some football here and there, playing some basketball. But yeah, I definitely saw a lot of people, go left and never return, whether it was getting into, street activities, or whether it was, being a early father. So those things will always, give you a little kick in the butt when it comes to life. But I wanted to stay on the right path, and went to school, went to college, and got my degree and all that. So in terms of right now, fast forwarding, I've been in sales and the corporate world, but the corporate world sucks, especially for folks that look like us. So currently my strategy is to use this social media things, internet thing, to expand on the knowledge that I have with basketball. I've played in high school and college, and I have a relationship with the game that Clem, you have the same relationship. A lot of folks that studied and played basketball have the same relationship. And right now at this point, I'm just trying to develop the podcast, get people excited about what we do, get people excited about how we present the actual information, because it's a very competitive market out there.
Yeah.
It's millions and millions and millions of people
Yeah.
trying to create content and get your attention. So
Oh, yeah.
you cannot understate the concept of doing you,
Hmm.
because no one can duplicate what you do.
Correct.
Um,
It's funny you say that, and obviously the proof is in the pudding, in the sense of it being. I mean, you put it much more, politically correct and being competitive. Is also, the bad side, if you want to look at it, say it's oversaturated with people putting in, their recipe of what they think success will be or what it looks like. I think it is really something to be told where it is a challenging space. You go through, you have to deal with mainstream, because now mainstream is also dipping its toe into social media and also the, podcasting pool. So, the who's that we see on TV, they're now in this space.
oh
So,
yeah, yeah. You're talking about yeah. I mean, we've seen the 15-year trajectory of the internet and blogs and content being laughed at,
mhm,
to now folks actually respecting it and saying, oh, it's a respectable situation when you have a show online, or it's when you don't get laughed out the room when you say you have a show on
right.
the internet, which a lot of people was, how do you say, putting their nose in the air to it, if you will.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like, you got internet, f out of here, man. What's that? What's that? It was clowned. It was clowned.
Right.
So
Mhm.
now you see there's ad dollars to be made. You generate your own fan base, your
Mhm.
own clientele. We've seen many and many examples of, in any pool, whether it's comedic, whether it's sports, we all have examples of folks that have produced content and
Mhm.
gone and been able to create their own businesses
Right.
and be able to feed their families straight off of content versus working at 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
that's where I want to go. And everybody, once again, you just put your best foot forward.
Yeah. It's definitely, everything is all facts of what you said. I think also being diligent in what you're doing, because I think it's very easy to just be like, yeah, I'm going to do the podcasting thing. You do it for a couple of days. Some things don't resonate, such as the analytics being the numbers, viewership. You're just not getting the notoriety, so to speak, that you think you deserve, or you see your counterparts having. So you kind of just get lazy, and that's the part that kind of knocks you down. If
It's
you
con-
start, if
it's
you start to get
consistent.
lazy, it hinders the process.
It's consistency, and unfortunately, for those that's why I give props to those that break through, that have, it's different. I give different types of props, if you will, because
Mhm.
you have folks that obviously, you have these teenage folks that have been able to not have to worry about bills, so they can every single day create content. So that's one aspect. So
Right.
that's still creating content. So that's dope. But then you have the other folks that men and women who have kids,
Right.
who have full-time jobs, and they
Mhm.
still take an hour of their day to produce, and it more than likely is not an hour, probably 3 to 4 hours
Yeah.
to produce a show for content, because they see a vision. And sometimes I'm sure you say that it's you get lazy.
Mhm.
It's folks in the background in the environment saying, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are you always on the internet? Come take care of your kid.
Mhm.
Come clean this. Come fill this up.
Right.
It's a constant of movement of tasks, but at the same time too, we've seen people make it
Mhm.
with those same things. Like Tabitha Brown is an example. I don't
Right.
know if you're familiar with Tabitha Brown, but
Mhm.
she's an example of again, sticking to her guns.
Right.
She has her own business. I was talking to my wife about it just recently, and she's an example of, if you have an actual niche what you talk about, how you talk about it, and how you present how you present content,
Right.
you can make money and make a business out of it. Why not?
100%. I think that it's building relationships, right? I think it's a lot of nuance to it, but in the sense of like you have to kind of break out of your own shell because it's not for everybody. I think you have to be kind of that A-type personality in some respect to be able to literally sit down, hold your nerves in perspective, and talk and be clear and concise at certain points, being able to provide, direct delivery and be impactful all at the same time. And I think a lot of people think it's easy until you place them there. And, whether it's a one-on-one situation or if it's just them virtually by themselves doing it, I give those people a lot of credit because like for someone to sit down and hone that talent for, like you said, 2-3 hours and to hold viewership because everything counts. It's not that someone clicks on it. If they don't find you engaging, there's a time limit that you are tested by, you are graded by. You're always being graded. So if you don't meet that criteria, you just, you don't crack that code. And that's kind of essentially the rumble that we're all in.
No, you're 100% right. Gift of gab. Some people have the gift of gab. And some people have some people can actually go to school, go to, diction class and actually work at their craft and work at presenting their ideas in a concise manner. But yeah, some people just have the gift of gab and have the ability to, captivate and put together words and get you to understand things. So, but I have a question for you. I mean, you're wearing these Knicks and these, the Knicks stuff. I just want to understand. Is this are you a Knicks fan, a Knicks fan for a period of time? It's been years, or you are just a new Knicks fan that has established, this love because of Jalen Brunson and so forth?
No. Well, what it is with me, and I don't hold back with that kind of stuff. And it's almost utterly disrespectful for you to ask me that kind of question because how I feel about the Knicks, how much I've cried, from the yesteryears of Patrick Ewing and his failed finger roll attempt, John Starks, as we watched on your living room on Herring Avenue, shoot the Knicks out of a championship. Not to mention, we got cut off by O.J. Simpson chase. Rest in peace. I remember that just like it was yesterday when it happened. I also remember, the overhaul of the Knicks giving up. We gave up our whole team basically to bring Carmelo Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a lot. I also remember, being early stages when, us New Yorkers thought Bernard King was the next coming until he blew out his knee a couple of times. So yes, when you ask me, yes, the paraphernalia has always been there. It's a part of me. It's in the blood. Both our parents took us to games, so we know what it is.
I just want to listen. And this is going to be this next question is going to be the real test. This next question here, this is where it's going to really I'll really understand how your fandom, because there's levels to being a Knicks fan. I just want to understand your fandom. Even this team currently, where do you see them landing? Seriously, where do you see them currently landing this season with what you've seen already?
I think it's interesting. I'm realistic.
Yeah,
I'm going to say the Eastern Conference Finals.
I like it.
I like the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not going to exaggerate and have these, lofty dreams and, all this kind of craziness, delusion and stuff. We're not Spike Lee here. Okay. Spike Lee is still living at a time where Do the Right Thing. He was just entering his own and sitting in the nosebleeds and got his, he became the claimed number one Knicks fan. So I'm not doing that. With how the team is constructed, I'll be honest, and I don't think anybody will disagree. Jalen Brunson was not the target point for the Knicks. I think the target point was definitely Donovan Mitchell or someone of that caliber. And I think also it was a situation where the Knicks got him for cheap discount because I think they're paying him 110,
120, 4 years, 124 years.
Correct. Which is a bargain compared to what all these other characters are getting. And, Julius Randle has been a nice surprise, unfortunate that, what happened to him this season. And, we got those Villanova boys to play the ancillary roles, whether it's Josh Hart and, the redhead kid, DiVincenzo. It looks good. I just don't think too highly of Tim Tibbs because he has a history of running his players into the ground. And, I'm not jacking that because we do know it's playoff time. It's a grind. And instead of him expanding the roster, I think he's going to condense it. And you're going to start to see, Jalen Brunson being worn down. I mean, we've seen it already. He's playing well, but he could be playing better.
You say a lot. Randy J. Cruz is a diehard Knicks fan, and I've seen him cry, I've seen him roll over in tears. I'm like, bro, like you lofty goals, KD's gonna come here, LeBron's gonna come here, Kyrie's gonna come here, bro, stop. I had to really sit him down one day and be like, oh, listen, this is what you really want to do. You really want to draft well, develop your young players, get 2 or 3 pieces, and go from there. That's exactly what I told him right before you get Randall. Well, then you got RJ Barrett. Then you got Grimes. Then you got Mitchell Robinson.
Right.
Then you get Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo.
Right.
Name another time, Clem. Name another time in the NBA that college players got together and played. The only other time I'm thinking Houston, Olajuwon, and Clyde Drexler. Houston Rockets, Houston in college.
Right.
That's the only other time.
I'll give you another one, but it wasn't very prominent. I think they lasted maybe 2 or 3 seasons. Juwan Howard and Chris Webber when they were with the Washington Bullets.
Yeah. But I mean, to have 3.
Oh yeah.
To have 3 guys that have played together, know the back of their hand, what chemistry can do. That's why I was laughing. Randy, once again, it's in the game podcast. The Jive Turkey was talking about, Kevin Durant and Phoenix Suns, and I'm like, bro, these are 3 ball dominant players.
Right.
3. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do with that?
Yeah. It amazes me. Like, I'm just the average guy. Yeah, I've played basketball. You've played basketball. Randy has ran a whole basketball organization. I think it's safe to say with a lot of these GM roles, we could have ran it.
Oh, listen. But I'm still asked. There are questions I've had over the years because of GMs. GMs is like, okay, well, if you decided he was okay, for example, let's go through a couple examples, if you will. We have time. Why not?
Sure.
Right. I'm like, okay, Wiseman, number 1. Really? Really? Mm-hmm. That's what we doing? Wiseman? Really? Okay. I'm looking at other players across the league where it's just like I don't understand. Ben Simmons hurts me.
Yeah,
I don't know. Again, GMs. I'm asking GMs like, who told you that was a good idea? Who told you that was a good idea? Yeah. And then again, GM Mark Cuban, maybe another decision maker. Mm-hmm. Your man Jalen. When he was explaining what was going on in Dallas, he said, yo, people's getting hurt. I came in, I started cooking. Mm-hmm. They looking around like, all right, well, I'm looking at, I'm like, I'm trying to get this money. They're like, well, nah. Okay, well, we'll see what come playoff time.
Right.
Playoff time. I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Fast forward next season, no offer. What's going on? Next thing you know, Knicks is like, yo, what's good? You trying to come over here and run? Like, yo, Dallas, what's good? You trying to? No conversation.
Yeah.
Deuce. 1, 2, 3. So GMs have definitely, and decision makers have definitely lost track on what's important, what's not important, etc. Let me ask you another question. I love picking basketball minds, so bear with me if you will. I love picking basketball. You know the saying that they say that there's a saying currently in the NBA, currently for the NBA, like no lead is safe. Have you heard that saying? Have you heard that saying?
Yeah. Tons of times.
All right, I hate that saying.
But it holds true. It holds true.
Okay, I'm glad you took a stance. So let's on guard. Ching ching. Okay. Leads are not sustained because of bad offense, because of bad offensive selection of shots. That's why leads are lost. Boston, Atlanta, if you watch it's online. If you watch, Boston was up like 25. And Atlanta just came right back because Boston wanted to basically say, you know what? Every shot, take a jump shot. Every single one. No layups, no free throws, no attacking of the rim,
right?
No putting pressure on the defense, giving them time to rest. Jump shot. Oh, we didn't have to move our feet? Bet.
Right.
We out. Let's go. Confidence boost every time you hit a shot. You're like, oh, these guys is really not even, they're really not even paying attention. So my question, so when I make that point, I'm saying it's not that the offense in the NBA is that great. I think it's a combination of that and a combination of these offenses currently right now are terrible, and the shot selection is terrible because the NBA is now a 3-point league. What say you?
I agree with you. I also, I talk about it. Obviously, I do the whole betting aspect of sports and things of that nature. And I need to get back into that. But, and I'll put it like this. We've played basketball, it's about competing, and it's more so a pride thing. When we played basketball, whether it was in the street, whether it was in an actual under the whistle or whatever the case may be, there was structure, right? There was structure, there was a level of execution, and you needed, this one thing we call IQ. I don't see that because now you're watching basketball where, instead of cutting to the basket, everyone is flaring for 3-point shots. The mid-range is non-existent. And dare I say, nobody plays defense. That's the biggest elephant in the room. And what is defense? Like, you don't have to, there's no one, I don't see anybody, as much as they like to say Kawhi and all these supposed people are, locked down, that's non-existent. Those days were back in the 90s when you had Gary Paytons of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, Scottie Pippen, and so forth. Now you have a bunch of people who are just imitating. It's easy just to be an imposter or just to be, a decoy. Like a lot of time, there's nothing that's really hard about basketball. Anybody that's played basketball knows it's about timing and it's about angles. So chances are you're a right-handed player, make him go to his left. If you see an overload, make him flare to where it's very convoluted into that direction. It's not hard. We've all played basketball, but when you watch it, it's so frustrating. And I think that's where we become our dads, where we're like, what is the shit we're watching?
It's okay. You said, first of all, Jesus Christ, my man. Whew. Everything you just said spot on, first of all, but it's so many places I want to go. So I wrote a couple of things down. So bear with me. Some places I want to go. All right, first of all, there was a play. I think it was a 3-on-1. I think it was Memphis.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Balls in the middle. It's a 3-on-1. The drill is it's a 3-on-1. You flare out. The guy in the middle attacks him, makes him pick him up, so much so that he has to pick him up so he either can score on him or dish it to a guy for a layup because they're flared out enough with spacing. These guys ran a 3-on-1 to shoot a 3.
Yeah.
First of all, that's one. Two. The college game. Okay, you have to understand these one and dones. They're not learning the game.
Nope.
So they're going to the NBA, not learning how to set a screen, not learning what a reverse pivot is, not learning how to cut. They don't know how to do that because they haven't been in college long enough to understand it. High school and AAU, you think these sons of bitches is learning how to cut? No. 1-4 flat. Yo, ISO, get out the way. That's all. A lot of step back a lot of step back threes. Everybody thinks they're Steph. I'm like, wait, when did the memo go out that everyone that can shoot a jump shot should shoot a jump shot? No. That wasn't the concept. The concept was if your jump shot was pure, then you could shoot it. Right. That was the concept. The concept was because you could shoot it, you should. No. All right. So college, that's the second thing. The third thing, defense you mentioned.
Right.
I think one of these guys said it on Twitter, which I think is brilliant because the regular season is not focused on enough, and that's where the defense is lacking.
Right.
So what I think, and this is what I read, regular season, when you get everybody plays out, when you get to 1 to 8, the first 3 teams get to pick their first 2 teams that they play in the playoffs. Again, the first 3 teams get to pick who they play, and I think it's either the first round or second round. But he broke it down how it would work, and I said I love it.
Right.
It creates different matchups. It creates rivalries because it's like, yo, you picking me first?
Right.
Oh, you think it's sweet? Okay. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you like, oh no, you pick us last. We don't match up with you. You pick us last. This, that, that. It creates a different kind of situation where the regular season actually counts. The regular season counts. But again, the concept with this particular NBA is, they want more points. So less fouls, less post-ups. So these folks, your only mid-range man is your man DeMar DeRozan. These folks like that. Other than that, these folks is either it's to the rack, or it's a 3, or it's a free throw.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You have your Browns and your Tatums but Luka's magic is from the wings most of the time. Kyrie's magic is in and out a little bit, but most these guys aren't going to the hole because they're not getting calls.
Right.
And
it's the overall basis, let's call it what it is. The kids, I blame AAU. I blame a lot of the parents because the parents play a part in it, and the overall culture. We're just not holding kids accountable.
No.
When we played, you got cut. No, go somewhere and get better. Try to get better. Now I have friends who are in that line of business. The kids and the kids' parents are telling them, no, I want my kid to do this. I want my kid to do that. I got to get the kid to train. Now you talk to some of even the kids as young as 14, 15, they got trainers. I'm like, you need to train this to do what? And, we're from the Bronx. So like you go outside, there's at least 4 to 5 basketball courts. You don't see nobody on them. You don't see anybody on them. They don't want to do it. Everybody is cooked up on their phone. Everybody's, doing whatever, yelling and doing all this other extra stuff. Nothing that is worth production. So when you talk about the one and dones, yeah, they were around when we were in school and when we were coming up, but they were actually good. Like you had to prove, you actually had to prove who you are, not tell somebody, record me and we're going to put something on Facebook or IG or YouTube and, oh yeah, he's the number one prospect. Oh, he's dope. He does this, he does that. Because you dribbled the air out of the ball, that's not impressing anybody.
Clem, just seeing Kobe Bryant say, "Yo, Kobe don't need to know how to learn how to screen right now." Tim Thomas. Nah, he don't. He good. He good. He Rasheed Wallace. Oh yeah. He's out of here, gone. Like there are players that we've seen. It was like, yo, these guys is phenoms. They're gonna be okay. But at the same time, too, we're in a new era. You said it best. The respect factor, I guess the fear and the respect factor of the coaches and the system has gone awry. And you have no, the question is, now that I'm thinking about it, is Riverside still an active AAU?
They're there. I don't know if they have a pulse, but they're there. I know Gauchos will forever have a pulse because they have talent. They pump out talent like a drug factory, no pun intended. But it's what the kid wants to do. Do the kids actually want to develop? Can you coach these kids hard? I think it's now in terms of, viewership because, similar to anything. If you want to be a rapper, you can be a rapper. Anybody can be a rapper now. If you want to be, you want to be a scammer, you can be a scammer. You can be anything you want. But I think it's more so now there's outlets. We didn't have that. You're talking about, with us, we had AOL chat room. You couldn't see anything. So it's also something where you had to take your behind outside. There were these dudes on your block. If they thought you were all right to play or if they needed an extra man, you play. You played, you garnered your respect that way. You played. And you honed your skills that way. Now, like I said, everyone has a smartphone. You get a tripod. You do a couple cool things and everyone's ooh, and you rank somewhere. I don't know where these rankings are going, but you're ranked somewhere. And it's one of those situations. That's how a lot of these kids are getting drafted. The last couple of drafts, and you mentioned it. You have Wiseman, the Anthony Bennett, even who's another person? Jesus. A couple of people that were in lottery had no bit. They just when they get on the actual basketball floor, I think people forget like you have to actually play. You can't just be like, oh yeah, he's a lottery pick. And
when I saw, like I said, when I saw Ben Simmons in college, I was like, no,
he's not interested.
I was like that. I was like, he's telling you he's basketball is like video games to him. He plays it once a week. He's not going to be focused. I knew it from the beginning because we saw Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. We saw who else? The Kentucky Factory.
Oh yeah,
Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox, DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall. We seen it on the high level.
Michael Beasley. We
seen it. This dude went to LSU. Mm-hmm. Couldn't even get his team to a winning record in the conference, and couldn't even get his team to the NCAA. It was like, yo, I'm out, deuces. And they was like, okay, you're a high pick. I was like, how?
Yeah.
I said, how? And then the 76ers massacre happened. And I had to rewatch. I watched that replay 20 times because I really wanted to understand from every angle what he was thinking. I was trying to give him an out. I really was. I was trying to, as a basketball savant, as a guy who I can say I know ball, I was trying to give him an out by watching it over and over and over again. And I said, oh no, that's a problem. And fast forward from there, I was like, lo and behold, we got a guy who doesn't want to shoot, he can't shoot, doesn't want to, he can't shoot, he's
terrified,
doesn't want to shoot, and there was only one glimpse of what it possibly could have been when they played Utah. And he killed Rudy Gobert. That was the only time I was like, guys, Jason Kidd played years without a decent jump shot.
Magic Johnson, same thing.
Say again?
Magic Johnson, same thing.
Yeah, they played years without needing a jump shot because they were that good. They were that good. And then, so I'm just like, okay, he doesn't need a jump shot because he's that good if he's that aggressive.
Right.
And then next thing you know, he's down there with Trae Young and he passes it out. And I'm like, what? And God bless Embiid. Our African brother's suffering. He is suffering. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy. I didn't want him to come back. I wanted him to take the year. I don't know why he's thinking.
It's a pride thing.
Wait, Clem, this Embiid is going to Paris.
Yeah, supposedly.
This Embiid?
Yeah, I don't. He's not going to make it.
This Embiid is going to Paris. This one right now.
Yeah.
Not with them. Not with them Australian hammers. Are you familiar with the Euro teams? Some of these Euro teams. You know what's interesting? Some of these Euro teams look like NBA teams.
Listen. That's the sole reason they made LeBron call the Justice League, to bring all these characters out. These guys, we're older than them, but in basketball years, they're considered old. When you start adding people, KD, Steph Curry,
yes,
and the list goes on and on and on. The average age of that team is in their mid-30s. So we know what's up. But
you look across the Euro leagues, FIBA, all that. These ain't young pups. Nope. These ain't young pups, baby. You got Navarro over in Spain. He's like 59.
Yeah, true.
The Gasol brothers, if they decide to play, they can whenever they want to. Right. You got the Australian. They boys is corn-fed, 6'10", 250 light. They got like 8 or 9 of them boys. Them guards is lethal and 6'4" diesel. Come on, bro. It's not even. They need that whole team.
Yeah, they need this. They, like I said, they congregated and called them the Super Friends. They called them the Justice League to kind of regulate things. But even with the team that they constructed, it's still going to be a difficult task because honestly, if you look at other outlets, there's not an American player that you would consider in the top 5 in the NBA right now. That's a very tough conversation to have, and I don't think a lot of people realize it.
Clem, I am called the NBA Whisperer.
Yes, I know. I've seen
the NBA Whisperer, Denny Blanco. I had a conversation with Randy J. Cruz. I said, "Big bro, do you realize if I had a magic wand and I wanted to pick a starting a starting international team to play against the United States, if I wanted to just pick a starting 5 internationally, y'all be cooked?" And he's like, "What you mean?" I said, "Y'all be toast."
Yeah.
I said, yo, bro, Luka, SGA, Embiid, Giannis,
and Jokic.
What team? What team is going to even have a chance against that lineup? Are you serious?
Yeah, not a lot. I think the closest thing that we have is who? Maybe Jason Tatum.
No, you get Tatum, you get LeBron, you get Curry, you get KD, you get Booker. God bless. Name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Good luck. You're losing by 30. Light work. It's not even a question. But it's an international game. It's international game because the game has moved into the 3-point.
Yeah.
It's moved into the 3-point. It's moved basically. It's changed into the Euro game. They've been doing this since the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. They've been doing this. The NBA is just now caught up. They've been doing this since the 80s. You got guys that were centers coming down. That's why you got Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh yeah. We remember when he first came on the scene, which was in the Olympics, and I believe it was Charles Barkley who offered to pay his college tuition if he would just go to Auburn. But Dirk already had it set in his mind he was going to enter the draft right after those Olympics, and we seen it. The one leg jump shot and 30,000 plus points, and all his endeavors that he did. He's that. He's solidified. He's goated in Dallas, so it's not within question. But what you are discussing, yeah, it's scary. But it goes back to what I was saying to you before. The kids now, this generation, they're cooked because you can't tell them anything. You cannot tell them anything. Like, I still play basketball. I don't know if you still play. I still play from time to time, but it's very frustrating.
It's not only me.
It's very frustrating because when I play, a lot of people will say like I show no emotion, and that's before. Now you hear me sucking my teeth. I'm like stomping off the court. I'm breathing heavy. I'm like, y'all really think I'm out here trying to run up and down the court for my health or something? Like, what part of the program is that about? But it's the new age. Everybody thinks they have a crossover. Everybody thinks they can shoot like Steph. Everybody thinks like, there's eyes watching on them. I'm like, yo, my nigga, shoot the ball like you got some sense. Like, what's wrong with you? You over here trying to dribble the air out the ball. Like, Clem, there's some mixtape waiting for you.
Clem, it's sometimes for mental health reasons you have to just stop playing. Okay, you want to work out because obviously the more active you are, the longer life you have. That is the fact. Mm-hmm. So yes, my frustration comes into the way the game now, the way some people think the game should be played.
Right.
And there have been times where I have personally taken upon myself, depending on the day, because I am a man of a certain age, so there's only so much I could possibly do. But if you catch me on the right weekend, 85 degrees, sunny, no wind, I've already been playing 2 or 3 games, and I'm hydrated. One of these days that happened, and my team was down like, we're playing game to 16. My team is down like 9 points. And we're down 9 points because we're playing half court, fours. And we're down because these guys they don't know what they're doing. So I just literally began to coach while playing. Yeah. Telling everybody where to go, how to go. Every possession. I say, yo, all right. We went 8 straight. Obviously, it was like 8-0 at some point. And I was just like, yo, you know what? We're gonna do it this way now. Y'all got y'all dribbling out, y'all shooting out, y'all behind the back, throw off your foot. Y'all, all right. Mind you, there's 3 nexus.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm about to make a point, and all these motherfuckers are gonna see this shit. I don't give a fuck if I don't play.
Right.
They're going to see this shit and they're going to take it with them. So for 8 possessions, it was like a 24-second clock, nigga. Clear out. Take it out. Do my thing on the wing. Jump shot. Boom. Next possession. Pick and roll.
Right.
Pick and roll. Guys are moving. I'm like, don't move until I tell you to move.
Right.
I'm talking to them like they're my sons.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
I'm teaching them how to cut, when to cut. Okay, when I come off the pick and roll, the guy literally setting the screen. I'm telling this man, yo, no. Let me drag around the screen. Don't move yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let me drag around the screen and see where this big man goes with me. I may give him a hezzy and go to the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Or as soon as I get him away from you, you spin and roll, I dump it.
Right.
Couple of possessions, we're starting to get in a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Now guys are doing it on their own. They're going to spots. I'm like, no, you there. They're like, oh, it's not after 4 possessions. No one's talking anymore. Mm-hmm. They're going to different spots on, like, literally now they know. They're like, oh, okay, we go here for spacing.
Yeah, muscle memory.
They're going there now because I'm literally like, no, stop over there, spacing. No. We need them to move. No. I'm literally telling them it got to a point where the dudes on the side was like, yo, they're running the same play. And I said, I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I told them straight up, I said, they can know the same play's coming. Yeah. It won't matter.
Yeah, still can't do nothing.
It's a matter of what we do. It don't matter if they know it's coming. It's a matter of what we do off of the counters, period. So go just landing the plane. These folks, and there's usually young cats. I'm not talking about the old heads.
Right.
Old heads, I'm saying, like, I'll have one old head. When I say old head, over 30.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have one or two. If I have 1 or 2 over 30, I'm happy. If it's one of these high school, young college boys,
oh, forget it. Yeah, they forget it. You can't tell them nothing.
Athleticism is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Athleticism is everything, and I've had guys defend me during these pickups on the weekends, mm-hmm. and I'm teaching them basic fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to out athletic me because I'm not going to let you do that. So when the ball goes up, what I'm going to do is take my elbow, put it in your chest, spin you, mm-hmm. box out, and I've watched the ball fall right into me. Mm-hmm. Guys is trying to jump over my back. Guys is falling over me, and I'm just looking at them like they can't call foul because mm-hmm. I'm boxing them out, and they're starting to learn. Like guys is literally like, "Yo, go box out, yo, go box out." I'm like, "Yeah, these are things that a lot of these guys aren't picking up. Whether it's the coaching in whether it's AAU, whether it's college, whether it's high school." The game has now run amok. I don't know we're ever going to go back to the days of knowing how to play. We only see it with a couple of teams, obviously. Mm-hmm. So with Golden State, we see it with Boston, we see it with Denver, we see it with OKC, we see it with the Knicks. We see teams that have the understanding of when to cut, how to cut, when to go to back screen, when to actually pull the ball out, when it's chaos. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you just seen the freaking Knicks win a game. Sixers fans, God bless you. Sixers fans, God bless you. And if you want to understand, you also too. Before I wrap up and get out of here, it's mm-hmm. been a great conversation, and I'm coming back if you will have me.
Oh yeah.
Tobias Harris.
Oh please.
Sixers fans. Tobias Harris is getting paid over $100 million.
180 to be exact.
Tobias Harris is getting paid $180 million. Joel Embiid tore his meniscus, had surgery, came back. Kyle Lowry's 55 years old.
A whole fact.
55-year-old Kyle Lowry still giving you some work. You got Tyrese Maxey, young bull, giving you everything. 30, 40. Mm-hmm. And here you go. You can't outmuscle Josh Hart?
Yeah.
At 6'8", you mellow size. You mellow size. You 6'8", 6'9", easy. Josh Hart is 6'4".
on a good day.
At 6'4", 6'3", and you can't take advantage of that matchup. Give me 15, 16. I'm asking too much for 15, 16, 9 points.
He's averaging, not to take anything away from what you just said, Josh Hart is averaging 13 rebounds thus far in this series at 6'4".
You know, they call that he has he has what the Russell Westbrook has. They call it the what would they call it, the high motor.
Mm-hmm.
High motor. A lot of the guys in the Knicks, high motor. Jalen Brunson, he's not gonna stop. Dante DiVincenzo, he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna stop. They just keep coming and coming and coming, and they will not. The aggression will keep. You know, they don't ever take the foot off the gas. Period.
You know, it's interesting with all these new monikers that people come up with, these buzzwords, these things. There's nothing new about them. High motor just means you're playing with effort. If you have effort, everybody in the world, even on TV land, will tell you you have a high motor. That means absolutely nothing. It's part of your job. As far as Tobias Harris, he's a fellow New Yorker, obviously Long Islander. I don't know, but his skill set is very questionable. He's stealing money at this point. He's a one-trick pony because I don't really see him do anything besides hang out on the perimeter and shoot those broke threes that he shoots. If that be the case, why don't they just slot Kelly Oubre to get in there? Because he's been a little more effective than he has. And but this is a conversation that has been going on ever since they had Jimmy Butler. I don't know if you remember that whole little squabble because of the contract.
GM once again.
Right.
Who thought it was a good idea to pick Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler? Yeah. Who thought that was the better idea?
Yeah, that's one of those my nigga moments. That's where you sit back and you just be like, my nigga, like, really?
The Tobias, again, so many ways you can affect the game in the game of basketball, right? Yeah. So if you're not rebounding,
do something.
If you're not defending,
do something.
If you're not assisting,
do something.
If you're not if you're not doing any of those things, why are you on the court? Your minutes must be removed. Your minutes must be removed. But other than that, the kid has to run. I appreciate you, Clem. I can go on. We can talk about things all over the place. I appreciate you for having me on. I'm sorry I was asking too many questions. I want to pick your brain.
No. And you know, it's always it makes the time, number one, go. It feels more conversational. This is probably one of the more conversational interviews that I've had, and it gives a different aspect because a lot of times, you know, we talk about life, but you know, we all need a break from that. You know, so
yeah. You did this. So next time I come on, I'll talk about. I'll get a little deeper into life. Don't get me wrong. It's obvious that there are things happening around us, and we have to be aware of what's going on and understand that other people are aware, and there's folks that can give you good knowledge and advice on how to proceed on different things. So I totally get that, and I totally want to come back and pick your brain and have a discussion on some other things as well. So if I may drop some info, It's in the Game podcast. Holla at your boy. It's on Instagram. It's in the Game pod. This is how it's broken down. It's in the Game pod. Sir Denny Blanco's the handle on the Twitter, on the IG. So I appreciate follows. Appreciate you guys always watching my videos on the gram as well. So I put some effort into it. You know, it's always something. It's always somebody getting worked over. My last video was Luca. putting them boys.
They
Whew,
don't, not too many people like it, huh? They don't like it, but the truth hurts sometimes. It hurts.
Kawhi, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, James Harden.
Them Cali boys.
Your boy Luka gave y'all everything, and he's not even done with y'all. He's just
Oh yeah, he's cooking.
He's just spinning the pig, spinning the pig's pig wheel. Just we about to get some more food out this mug. I'm about to get some more food out this mug, baby. Woo!
But definitely, obviously through your podcast, I know you and Joe Cruz have a good thing going, and I've seen a couple of your interviews. You've had some prominent people on there. I saw the one with Cassie Hubbard, which did numbers for you guys, and that was that was good, very productive. She let her hair down, literally, and kind of gave you guys the behind the scenes and what goes on from a day-to-day basis as far as travels and the various commitments that go along as far as the NBA season and the the grind and
the game.
She's a class act. I actually listened to that whole interview, and you guys did a very good job on that.
Thank you.
When you guys are interviewing next time, I'll pop in my head, share my knowledge, and I know you have your thing on the side. I have no problem popping in, sharing my knowledge, and great minds think alike, and it can only just expand the field.
We definitely appreciate that. Yeah, we're just trying to get more people on the show, more people, more eyes, more content. Again, I just think we had Jeff Says, who broke down. He gave us a nice clip on. He works with MSG Networks, and he gave us a nice clip on. He's a Knicks fan, and he gave us a nice promo.
Nice.
Great promo. Cut it. It was Ric Flair-esque. He filet mignons the 76ers. There's no question about it. These folks is gonna be mad when they, folks first see this video. The concept is, basketball over narratives. He said it in that video, and I was like, yes, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
We're the concept that we're going to provide is going to be basketball over narratives. There's a lot of I know people want to focus. ESPN want to focus on the narratives, who's better than who and why and this, that. But no, we want to focus on the ball. We want to focus on the actual game of what's actually happening. We want to focus on Joel Embiid not boxing Isaiah Hartenstein when the ball goes up, when you need the rebound. We want to focus on why Kyle Lowry ran to get the ball when he could have just walked.
Yeah.
Just took his time, looked around. He could have tied his shoe until the ref was like, hey, grab the ball. And he could be like, oh, okay, my bad. By that time, it might have been set. Then maybe get a timeout. Maybe you get the ball in. But, Knicks is hacks. Listen, Clem, I got to go. Knicks is hacks, bro. Knicks is hacks.
Do you, because we will definitely catch up. And, like I said, there will be a part 2. All right?
I appreciate you, bro. Love you. Speak to you soon.
Likewise. Ladies and gentlemen, that's straight to it. Have a good one.
Later.